In this lesson, we're going to get an overview of the interface. Alright, so Unreal Engine 4 is going to look a lot different than UDK or even other previous versions of Unreal Engine. So if this is the first time that you've ever messed with any Unreal Engine, what a time to get into it, because this Unreal Engine 4 is really fun to work with. I really like it a lot. So let's go ahead and start diving into the interface. So we're going to start right up here at the top, and this is called the tab bar. The tabs allow you to quickly access docked editor windows like the Blueprints editor. Now we're going to be talking about the Blueprints at a later time, but I'm going to open this up just to kind of show you how this works up here. So if I open up the level blueprint, you can see that it opens up our blueprint editor. And what I can do is I can actually use this kind of like you would in your internet browser. So I can actually left click and drag on this tab, and I can dock this right up here with these other tabs. And I can have as many tabs as I want up here, and I can quickly switch back and forth. So let's say that I'm working in my level editor and I want to look at the levels blueprint and start working on it. I can simply left click on that tab and start working here very quickly. Instead of opening that up and then trying to position that, it allows us to keep things very clean. Now I can also close that down, and that will remove that tab. Works just like an Internet Explorer. Alright, so now let's go ahead and talk about the menu bar. And the menu bar is right here underneath the tabs there. And the menu bar provides access to general tools and commands that are used whenever we're working with levels in our editor. So for example, if we go to File, we can organize all of our files, we can open new levels, we can create new levels, we can save, all of that good stuff. So this is pretty basic right in here. Now we also have Edit, and under Edit this is used for common edit commands like undo, redo, copy, paste, duplicate, etc. You can see all of those there. Now we also have Window, and Window is going to allow us to access other windows not shown in the default interface. So for example, we can take a look at our layers here, which kind of docks that next to our scene outliner. I'm going to go ahead and close that down as I don't really want that docked there. Okay. Now we also have Help, and Help is a really great menu to go through. You can take a look at the Unreal documentation, you can look at the API references, you can go to the forums and things like that. So go ahead and take a look at that, kind of check out what they have to offer. And the documentation is going to be pivotal in learning Unreal Engine 4, because there are going to be things that we're not necessarily going to cover in this course, and there may be things that are specific to your situations as you're creating your own projects. So from the menu bar, we have these other panels, okay, around our interface here. And we're going to take a look at the Modes panel, and you can see that denoted right here on the tab. The Modes panel contains a selection of various tools made for the editor. For example, we have all these different tabs here. We have the Place tab, we have Paint, Landscape, Foliage, and then we have some more along the other side here, which we can't see because my interface is kind of shrunk down a little bit. But you can see that we have Geometry Editing. Okay. Now, from the Modes tab, what we can do here basically changes the behavior of how the editor is going to work. So with Place, we can place in things like geometry and lights and things like that. Whenever we go into the Paint mode, that allows us to start painting on landscapes and those types of operations. Now moving on from Modes, let's go down here. We have the Content Browser. The Content Browser is going to be extremely important because it allows us to create, import, organize, view, and even modify our content assets. This is where we're going to be going to get all of our files to make up our levels. Now moving on from the Content Browser, we have the Viewport, and this is the main window into creating our levels. This is where we're going to be spending most of our time manipulating objects, moving them around, getting them all to fit together to create our beautiful environments. Now from the Viewport, here we have the Scene Outliner on the right side here. The Scene Outliner is going to basically, it's going to allow us to have access to the assets that are in our level. So we can select things, we can turn them off, hiding them, adjusting their visibility, and it also displays how objects are parented together. We'll talk a little bit more about that here in a little while. And then we have our details. Now details contains information, utilities, and functions that are specific to our current selection. So as of right now, you don't see anything in our details, and that's because we don't have anything selected. So if you simply left click on this chair, you'll see that it selects, and then you'll notice that our details panel fills up with lots of information. So we have transform, static mesh, materials, everything that makes up this actor in the scene. Now from the details, we have our toolbar right up here at the top, and the toolbar gives us quick access to the commonly used tools and operations in Unreal Engine 4. So we can save, we can open up our content browser, we can go to the marketplace, we could even come in and we can open up the blueprint editor, we can simulate, we can play, and then we also have a couple of more options here as well, like launching our game, playing it right here in our window. Alright, so that is the interface in a nutshell. So starting at the top, we have the tab bar, the menu bar, modes panel, content browser, toolbar, the viewport, the scene outliner, and details. The interface is highly customizable, and we want to make sure that whenever we're working in Unreal Engine 4 that we can customize that interface that works best for our workflow. And so I'm going to show you how we can customize this interface in the next lesson. I'll see you then.